Welcome to LC Screen Talk. My name is Larry, and this is my review of Friend Request. This is the second release this year from Entertainment Studios, and this one had a very odd way of getting released here in the United States, because it's already been out for like a year in other territories overseas. But they got it a release date here in the US, thus we are getting Friend Request. But is that a horror story in and of itself? If so, a very dull one. So let's go ahead and kick off with those positives. And there are positives. I do have things that I think this film did really well. This is one of those movies that would be easy to just rag on and like drag through the mud because it's not going to have any defenders, and that's kind of what's anticipated. But there are things that this film does pretty well, and the biggest one for me was that it had ambition. They really tried some new and different techniques in this film that I thought mostly worked and would have really worked had they had a bigger budget. We go in and out of these like animated type sequences, or our main girl creates like this different artwork that she posts online in these different types of videos, and I thought they all looked really cool and they were a nice, neat concept. Also, the concept behind some of the scarier stuff also was pretty cool and actually did create some nice little creepy moments. So kudos to the filmmakers there. And there is quite a bit of creepy imagery in this film that leads to an overall kind of creepy feeling. So it succeeds on that level of a horror film. Unfortunately, that's kind of where the positives end, and we go into the many things it doesn't do so well. First of all, the acting is borderline atrocious. Most everyone in this film was really not good, and they were not helped at all by this script, because the script is terrible. As for direction and editing and cinematography, it all kind of came off as a first-time feature film. Somebody who's trying to get their big break, so they get some buddies together, scrounge up a few bucks through GoFundMe, and make a super cheap horror film. Also, as creepy as some of the imagery was, it was very standard for a horror movie. Everything in this film is something we've already seen in better horror films in the past. So in storytelling, it doesn't really take any real risk. And unfortunately, that script is so bad that it can't live up to the prior incarnations of the story it's trying to tell. Also, dealing with that script, the actual mystery part of what we're trying to solve and what we're trying to do and piecing everything together to try to figure out a solution to the problem here, it's incoherent. They try to lay it out a little bit, but it's really, there's no rhyme or reason, there's no actual piecing it together, and they don't really develop any of the aspects, so you're not really interested in this story they're trying to solve. And part of the reason you're not interested in solving the story is because you're not very invested in the characters and seeing them succeed and live, because they didn't really take the time to develop these characters. They're all very generic, bland, characters. They all felt like the filler characters in horror movies that are just put there to die. And then my final big negative is that it plays into this stereotype, it plays into this trope of painting out mental illness as this villainous thing. Paints those who suffer from mental illness as these crazy, murderous people. And really, that's the crux of this whole story. It starts with this girl who exhibits signs of dealing with a really great depression. And she is mocked, she is ridiculed, people are scared of her, and it really did just bring in a stigma to a point where people are like, yeah, she needs help, professional help. And you're like, yes, she needs professional help, give it to her. So I just really did not like that first act of the film, where we are establishing this girl who is sending that friend request as just this crazy, stalker, depressed, super clingy person. And when it comes to that aspect of this film, go see Ingrid Goes West. Yes, it is kind of a dark comedy, but it talks about our dependence on social media and technology much better than this film gets across. It also has some problems, though, with dealing with mental illness, so We've got to figure out a way to tell these stories better and not just fall on the same old crux. But Ingrid Goes West deals with all of the issues this movie's trying to deal with, just a lot better. And for those that really hate jump scares, this movie has a lot of them. And a lot of them that don't pay off. Literally, they'll just have a face behind somebody for no reason other than to make you jump, and then it goes nowhere. So, be warned. So overall, it's not a good movie. It's not really a well-made movie, for sure. But I don't think it's horrible either. I definitely think it has some merit to it. And if you like horror movies and you just like to see these kind of like creepy, scary movies, then I think this is worth a rental. I don't think you need to pay theater prices to see it. But if you rent it, I think there's enough in here to have fun with. You'll laugh even though you're not necessarily supposed to. You'll jump because they do have those jump scares. But you'll also get a little bit wigged out by some of the creepy images that are shown. Otherwise, you could just skip Friend Request altogether. So, that has been my review of Friend Request. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, click like down below and subscribe to the channel so you are always up to date on our latest videos. Also, join in on the discussion. Are you excited to see Friend Request? Have you already seen it? Go ahead and share your thoughts on the film down below. And what is your favorite film dealing with social media? Let me know either in those comments down below, or you can hit me up on Twitter. I love you all so much for your support. Mwah! Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!